I had been meaning to watch Zombieland for so long, and it came on Amazon Prime, so I thought, okay, this is a really good time to watch it. And people had recommended it to me, but I never really thought it would be my kind of film because I'm not really into zombies. But actually, there are very few zombies in this, and when the zombies are in it, it's very funny and very entertaining. So I'm going to not spoil anything in this until maybe right towards the end when I will explain that I'm going to spoil it. But I thought it was brilliant, and it's directed by Ruben Fleischer, originally released in 2009, and focuses initially on Jesse Eisenberg, who plays a character called Columbus, because he was from Columbus. America is no longer called America, it's called Zombieland. The United States is now known as Zombieland because there had been zombies. And to be honest, I'd say within the first half of the film, we see maybe like 4 zombies. It's definitely, you can see coming towards the end of the number of zombies that are left. And Columbus finds Tallahassee, played by the brilliant Woody Harrelson. And together, they go off on the road. Tallahassee agrees to take Columbus so far. And they encounter Wichita and Little Rock, played by Emma Stone and Abigail Breslin. And it turns out that they are not the innocent victims that they claim to be. And they cause a bit of problem for Columbus and Tallahassee. They're not zombies, but they are causing quite a few problems. And I thought it was a very interesting dynamic, and I thought the setup worked really, really well in terms of the characters, the way they worked together, the on-screen chemistry was brilliant. I thought in particular, Emma Stone and Abigail Breslin worked very well as a duo, crime-fighting duo, if you like. Although they're not really fighting anything, they're just kind of driving towards this fun fair. That's their destination because, well, there are no zombies there for one thing, or so they believe. And whether or not they'll get there, I'm not going to tell you, but I thought the dynamic between them worked. It worked really well. The casting is great. Unfortunately, Amber Heard is in this, although well, she was very much a zombie and definitely didn't look her best, so I could deal with it. It was fine. I moved on. She's barely in it. I will say Bill Murray is sensational. I love the use of Bill Murray in this. I loved what they did as Bill Murray as a character. He plays himself, and I thought it was brilliant. I loved the way the actors interacted with him, because obviously these are just ordinary people talking to this celebrity, but at the same time, the way they're talking to him, they're all within the same world. You know, they're all within this celebrity actors world. So it's very entertaining. I found that to be a lot of fun and a really clever decision. Tallahassee's obsession with Twinkies is, well, it's not relevant to the plot itself, but it's, you know, they could have done it with anything, and I just thought it was very amusing. And there are so many little things in this, just little clever things that make it really creative and fun and ridiculous. If you're queasy, it's not that bloodthirsty. There is one scene where a zombie is feasting on another, well, a dead person, and it's, imagine somebody holding a giant rack of ribs in an eating competition. That's kind of the vibe you get from it. But I really enjoyed it. I thought it was absolutely fantastic. Enjoyed it so much more than I thought. Definitely a lot funnier than I'd anticipated. Really enjoyed the characters, the casting for the most part. And the spoiler, this is the spoiler now. The ending, I thought was brilliant. I'm not a fan of those uppy downy rides anyway, because they're scary. But to think that when it goes down, which is the scary part, there are zombies there. And honestly, when it flung back up with that one zombie, I laughed more than I expected I would have done. It's a lot of fun. Kind of wish they'd spent a little bit more time at the fun fair or the theme park, the amusement park. I would have liked to have seen a bit more of that. I imagine it would have been tremendous fun to film. But the zombies are terrifying. I also think Abigail Breslin being a child in this and holding a gun is really unnerving. It works well. Brilliant performance from her, as I would have expected, no less. But it is unnerving. But it works. And if you had been like me and you'd had Zombieland recommended to you and you never got around to watching it because you didn't necessarily think it would be your film, it's not really a zombie film. It is. Of course it is. But it isn't at the same time. If you don't like zombie films, don't worry, because that won't impact your opinion on this. It's cleverly written, it's funny, it doesn't take itself too seriously, and yet it's expertly crafted and brilliantly executed, very well cast, very entertaining. Zombieland definitely lives up to the hype.